All right. So, hey, Venom?
Yeah.
He's an Ethernet cable.
An Ethernet cable?
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
What do you mean an Ethernet cable?
Okay, so a lot of people don't read old comics. I do because I have no life. I have a life. I'm kidding. Well, anyway, point is, in a comic in the 90s called Carnage Unleashed, there's this weird thing that happened that was never done away with. So basically in the story, Venom finds out that Carnage is coming out with a video game. Because it was the 90s, and Eddie Brock has an awesome mullet. And basically, what you need to know is, Eddie is mad that Carnage might get royalties from the game, and that's why he decides to go and stop him.
Carnage the symbiote or Carnage the...
Carnage the guy, the famous mass murderer. Like, bear in mind, in the context of Marvel, like, Carnage is a very famous, extremely brutal, high security risk, literal mass murderer. Like, he's killed a bunch of people. Like, this is the same comic that reveals that when he was a child, he put a drill into his dog's brain because he didn't like it, and that he, like, got his mother blamed for killing his father. Got his father blamed for killing his mother because his mother was gonna kill him or his grandmother. I don't remember which. Point is, Carnage has murdered a lot of people, and some assholes at, I think the company is called, like, Excessive Violence Incorporated, in the game, like in the comic, are making this game to capitalize off of Carnage being a murderer, and that's apparently going over very well for them, because the 90s. Yeah, if we can get a picture, like, right here, of just Carnage mutilating someone, that guy, yeah, he was gonna be the star of a video game, and Eddie Brock couldn't stand that. What you find out, though, is that, like, not only is Carnage gonna get no royalties at all, he's only really allowed to, like, play the video game in his cell under, like, constant threat of being shot with microwave radiation. For context, if you know, and for anybody watching, why that's dangerous for Carnage is because his two weaknesses are fire and sound. Those are the two big things that really hurt a symbiote, right? For further context, the fire thing is really intense. In this picture, which we're gonna have to find, you'll see the Venom symbiote jumping off of Eddie Brock's body because of a lighter. That's like how bad they're afraid of fire. They're terrified of fire. This changes over Marvel's unbroken chain of continuity, which we'll get back to in a minute. But basically, any amount of fire will just mutilate these guys, right? So you can imagine what a microwave blast will do. He's effectively just in a giant microwave oven, sitting there playing games on the internet. So without going into a lot of detail about what the Carnage video game is supposed to be about, you just sort of know that he murders people, and that's what you're supposed to enjoy. And somehow, like, they're gonna capitalize on Carnage playing himself in the game, while presumably you also play as Carnage or play as heroes trying to stop Carnage from murdering you. So Eddie Brock gets on, like, his way. He meets a hippie on a bus. It's really unimportant because that's not what we're here to talk about. You find out that somehow Carnage knows that he can travel through the internet to attack people in real life. Using the phone lines, he makes his symbiote super tiny, and he squeezes on through, and he attacks a dude named Sherm, who's programming the game, and effectively gets this video game programmer to hack into a hyper-secure, like, prison to bust him out under threat of death. And it's really weird, because, like, you see him just coming out of the screen as just, like, tentacles. Like, he talks, his face is on the screen, and he's just doing that. He's just in there. Over the course of Carnage Unleashed, he gets unleashed, and Venom exhibits the same power. If you look on the official Marvel Wikipedia, under Venom, you'll find that Ethernet compatibility, I think it's called, like, internet immersion or something like that, is a power he absolutely goddamn has. And this is the most baffling thing to me. Like, what do you think you'd do? First thing you'd do with this power, with the symbiote, doing what you want to do, knowing what you know about Venom.
If you can go through internet?
Yeah, you can just go through the internet whenever he wants.
Steal a bunch of money.
Well, it's that you'd imagine, right? Like, Eddie Brock's not the most morally upright guy. I guess he doesn't steal stuff, but point is, there are other symbiotes, and it can be presumed that all of them have this power. And that got me thinking, like, how useful would it be to just jump into a flash drive? Like, any point, anytime you want, just jump into a flash drive, mark, like, if, like, say he's on one of those stints where he wants to murder Peter Parker, like, pictured here, Venom jumping into a flash drive. It's marked, pictured here, important information for Spider-Man. Peter Parker, pictured here, is naive. So he takes the flash drive, pictured here, plugs it into a computer, pictured here, and then all of a sudden, Venom just jumps out of his goddamn computer. There's no rule that says via the travel that he uses, he can't download himself into a storage thing. Granted, I have no idea how many gigs Venom is, but I'm curious to find out. Like, that.
Well, so he can travel through an Ethernet cable.
Yes.
But if, like, it's not like he's, like, on the web, is he? You know what I mean?
Oh, he is.
Well, through the web. Or
At a point in the comic, you see them fighting across the internet.
on the internet?
In Times Square.
So
you see them on screens
He doesn't
battling.
become, like, this crazy, it's all it is a power source at that point.
I don't know.
Because it just be energy, because it's created energy through... Because the web is kind of like a existent but non-existent thing, you know?
Well, all you need to know is that it was the 90s, so no one understood how the internet worked. And in addition to that, it gives new context to this clip, which right now we're staring at a green screen, but by the time you're watching this, you'll see a clip of Venom doing this. You know, surfing the web from the PS1 game. You ever play that game, the PS1, like, Spider-Man game? Yeah. That thing, like, where Venom does this. Yeah, I don't know how long the clip is, so it's gonna be really fun to edit that. But point is, that is something he literally could do. He could just jump into the computer at that point. And it also got me further thinking about, like, what Agent Venom can do. If you might not know, the Venom symbiote doesn't just attach itself to Eddie Brock. It also jumps onto other people, like, at a point, Flash Thompson. He's very famously now Agent Venom. You'll see Venom, like, occasionally with, like, a bunch of guns. He looks like this. Yeah, that guy. Flash Thompson, pictured here bullying Spider-Man, and also pictured here having no legs because he's a goddamn war hero. He lost his legs in Afghanistan because it's tragedy, but he bucks up and handles it because he's a champion, and he's delightful. He loves Spider-Man. He's great. Anyway, he gets the Venom symbiote, gives him the use of his legs back, does stuff. He fights with the Guardians of the Galaxy at some point for a while. So why didn't that come up? Because I keep thinking, if you could jump through Ethernet cables, couldn't you theoretically jump through, like, alien internet? Like, pictured here is the, like, Kree Supreme Intelligence. It's basically a giant computer. Couldn't, like, you just jump in there and, like, do stuff, like, to it? I'm gonna make this and put it here. This is, like, what I would imagine the Venom Kree mind thing would look like. Just picture that. That could be running around in Marvel. I mean, this does, and that's the Hulk, Venom, and Ghost Rider all at once. You know about that? Well, on this chain of people who could jump into the internet and attack you whenever they want, at a point in the comics, the Red Hulk, who is Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, arch enemy of the Hulk for a long time, fuses with the Spirit of Vengeance, the thing that gives Ghost Rider his powers, and the Venom symbiote. And he looks like that. And at any point, while watching, say, this video, the Venom symbiote, looking like that, could take all of that and ram it straight into you out of your computer screen at any given moment in time. Whenever they want. And on that note about Marvel continuity, this is canon. You know, like official for Marvel 616. If you know about the multiverse, there's like a bunch of different universes in Marvel, but that's a whole different conversation. They never said in Marvel history, they've never rebooted. They've come close, but they've never actually reset the timeline, right? So, Venom can still do this, jumping into the internet there. And so can Carnage. I mean, they've expanded Carnage's ability a lot more. Like, do you know about that time he took over the Microverse? He did that in a series called Minimum Carnage. There's another time where he took over a small town in a series called Carnage USA, where he just, like, took control of a town in America. And at a point, he fights Agent Venom in that. Meaning, if there was, like, a modem nearby, they could have taken that fight anywhere. At any time. I don't know how many catches anybody. I don't know how you catch Venom when he could just zip across a phone line. Presumably just download himself to an iPhone or something. Like, that would just be insane. Like, Carnage can go to the Microverse, which is terrifying, and that's a whole thing, but, like, they could just go across the internet anywhere in the world. There's no reason anybody should catch them, is there? So, yes, at the end of all this, the important thing to take away is Venom is a walking, talking, Spider-Man occasionally hating Ethernet cable that can just surf the web whenever he wants. One more time, can you just play the clip? Yeah. That's great.